welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now we are joined by Neil, who's in the chat? One Deck, Arthur, Click OK, and a whole bunch of people in the Flat Earth Debate Discord server. So, welcome one and all.
How are you?
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Good.
Hello, hello. Freaky Fridays, baby.
Yeah, housekeeping.
Indeedy, weedy. We're going to do housekeeping questions. Hopefully we'll rattle through them at a pace, because we have got, as you can probably see on screen, a Alan Watts video to cover that we've covered a bit in the pre-show, and it's developed some interesting discussion points, and I want to continue with that. So we will rattle through the housekeeping, though, to keep the place clean, so to speak. So, any evidence of a physical geometric sphere-edge horizon formerly known as the curve of the Earth?
Would that be... Go ahead.
Sorry.
Would that be what they were talking about on 24/7? Because there was a baller on, and it was funny to me because they were saying, just imagine a ship in the distance, and it would be hidden by a certain amount of curvature. And they kept insisting on it. And even the baller said, what do you mean? What curvature? I was like, exactly. What curvature? But they kept trying to argue. To me, it was like going backwards. Like, why would you be arguing about something that's not happening? Like, the horizon is not Earth curve. We all know that. It's been proven a million times over. And now we have measurements that prove Earth is flat. Why are we still stuck in this mindset that we have to take globers who are already on a ball and go on the ball with them to take the ball away from them? I don't know. It was just eye-opening to me.
I think the trick was the first sentence you said, imagine about. That's what you got to remember.
Plus, I was going to, you did mention it yourself, Neil, yeah. One point in there is, I think the physical Earth curve edge known as the horizon. Now, the horizon has never been defined as a physical location anywhere in life, except for in this heliocentric so-called model. The horizon is not a physical location, so we should never be arguing the toss of distance to it, because you can't have a distance to it because it's not physical. It's an apparent location where the sky and the Earth appear to meet. So that's point one. Any evidence of it? Well, the evidence that the providers with, using the Earth curve calculator, and it's not called the Earth curve calculator for no reason, because it does calculate a distance to the horizon, which has never been physical, but it needs some measurements for that distance. And the measurements that they use is a measurement between surface level and eye level, which are parallel to each other, and then a depression angle in between them two parallel horizontal lines. So it's a flat Earth measurement in the first instance to even come to the conclusion that it's a physical place that you can measure to. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Earth curve only exists in the maths. That's correct.
Yeah, well, let me give you more context. The guy, this is what they were dealing with. A guy said he had an out-of-body experience, and the globe that we all are being shown, that's not really how it looks. So I'm like, why do you even go there? Just go strictly to the measurements now and end this nonsense. But it didn't happen.
Any
Yeah, so
evidence?
the evidence for it is flat Earth measurements when you get down to the crux of it. And, we can go over this in slow detail. I mean, it's not like just saying it, but it's true. The evidence for the physical Earth curve horizon is flat Earth measurements.
Exactly.
Surface level, then eye level, and depression angles. Not curve measurements, flat Earth measurements, then calculated mathematically into a curve. That's the evidence.
Right. Now, they kept insisting on going to the calculator, going what you're supposed to see and what you're not supposed to see. And it was just driving me insane. So I kind of understand how Nathan feels when they argue it in that way, because you're still arguing something that's proven already.
Right, add something, Diego. Diego 76. Did you want to add something? You're off mute. No. Okay. Just any evidence of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Axial rotation. I mean, what evidence what evidence they put forward for this in the heliocentric models? What do they say?
Coriolis.
Stars moving 15 degrees an hour. We see that above us all the time, every day.
That's Coriolis effect.
Yeah. So do we see that effect anywhere else, like with, flight times, aeroplane distance travels from one place to another, hovering drones, hovering air balloons appearing to drift? I mean, we can't just say, well, the stars appear to be moving. We don't see anything else appear to move that's stationary, hovering in the sky, do we? So
no. The prerequisite is that Earth turns underneath the inertial frame of reference that objects are travelling through in a straight line for them to appear to curve, and the apparent curve, that's Coriolis deflection, is alleged to prove that Earth is turning beneath those deflecting items, seeming to curve from your vantage point turning beneath them. Well, we'd notice it doesn't happen. Earth's not spinning.
I mean, surely, Nathan, if someone's going to sort of, look, I mean, I don't know if you can call it a natural phenomenon. I mean, the lights in the sky appear to be moving. So how are you going to now? That's not something you can put through a scientific method, is it? Really? You can come. So the stars in the sky appear to be moving. Why is that then? You've got to come to give it a reason why, and then you're going to have to prove if you're correct with your, presumption of that. Now, how are you going to vary and manipulate the stars and the
I was going to ask you that.
I don't know. It's impossible, isn't it? But you could say, well, if the Earth is turning, then we can put other things to test. Like we could hover a drone with a plumb line over a brick on the Earth, and we'll see the brick appear to drift 15 degrees per hour. And that doesn't happen, does it?
But you don't realize how slow that really is. It's only one revolution per 24 hours. That's really slow. It's like watching a hour hand on the clock move.
That's like watching paint dry. But then it's moving 1.5 times the speed of sound, mind you, at the equator, 600 miles supposedly at the UK, and 500 miles per hour in Alaska, for example.
Yeah, convoluted.
But you don't see any movement. Yeah, you don't see any movement though, do you? When you put it when you try and use other examples, there's no apparent drift.
No, and it's not accounted for in the military. Well, a little bit of drift is accounted for when the bullet is actually in flight, and it may hit left off target right? And that'll be due to the rifling. So you adjust your sights. But the Earth itself is not rotating under the bullets. It's just not. They don't account for that.
Any
Well, like
evidence?
we've said, I mean, sorry, Nate, you can go back to if they say the Earth's a sphere and it's rotating, but in the first housekeeping question, we've just demonstrated how it's measured flat.
Right.
So that gets rid of the sphere, globe, ball.
Exactly.
So so if it's measured flat, it's flat. Yeah, there's no measurements of curvature except for in the mathematics. So your globe's gone now. And if you're saying the globe's spinning, well, it can't be spinning because you've got no globe because we've just told you it's measured flat.
That's right. So any idea that the Earth is rotating is now gone. And there's 5 famous experiments that the stationary Earth. It's on the YouTube. It's 50 minutes, 10 minutes per experiment. It goes through the Michelson and Morley, the Sagnac, Aries failure, and another Michelson and Morley test, and one more. And they end up saying that Albert Einstein lied. They actually say that. But they don't say it in a derogatory way, okay? But they do say that Einstein's special relativity regarding his bending and warping of space-time fabric is a lie.
Those are not experiments, though. You do know that, right?
Yeah, none of them are. Exactly.
So I think we need to give a disclaimer before we start off with all these housekeeping questions that we are whistling past the graveyard of the fact that all these are malformed questions, which are already begging the question of the globe in space.
Yeah, very good. And Albert Einstein himself said it in 1922, whereas in the University of Kyoto, Japan, 1922, he stated that he had come to the conclusion that Earth's rotation could not be experimented or detected by any optical experiment, he said. But somehow he knew it was moving. That's made me laugh. But it'll be Albert Einstein, 1922, University of Kyoto, Japan.
How would you go
That's
about to
exactly
prove
right.
something that's not existing? Wouldn't you want to just prove how Earth is stationary?
Well, that's exactly
Yeah.
like saying that we cannot measure curvature, though we know it is curved. Absolutely no difference. And that's
Yep.
every glober's excuse and every glober's explanation for why we can't see or measure or detect what we are supposed to if, beg the question, the Earth is a globe in a 10 to the 17 minus 4 vacuum of space.
That's a good comparison. You know what?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. What are we doing here? We prove Earth is not moving because, we prove Earth is stationary. Not going around checking to see if it's moving. That's ridiculous.
Well, if we're to take a leaf out of Elon Musk's book, you can tell it's moving. Sorry, you can tell it's moving because it's not moving.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, right?
Yeah, you can tell he's telling the truth because he's a lying bastard.
I'm telling you it's moving because it's not.
Well, this
Yeah.
is interesting because the housekeeping question about the horizon, we've been through that one. And obviously we've just spoke about that. It's a mathematical calculation derived from flat Earth elevation angle measurement. So, but that's what was pushed on everybody. That's there's the Earth curve calculator. You should be able to see this at that distance and not see that at that distance. So, like Nathan says, you're arguing then about how far you should be seeing after you've calculated something from a calculation derived from a flat Earth elevation angle measurement between surface level and eye level. It's ridiculous. I mean, once it's been measured from surface level and eye level and a depression angle in between. So that's ludicrous. Then we've got onto the second question about the axis, the spinning of the Earth. And now we're finding there's no actual evidence for that. It's just that the lights move in the sky, and they've said, well, that's because the Earth's spinning, but they can't back that claim up. You can't put it through the scientific method. It doesn't happen in any other situation on Earth. The lights, obviously, the lights in the sky are moving. Yes, correct.
All attempted experiments are proving that the Earth is stationary, non-rotating Earth. Not to mention the documents that exist: government agency documents, military, Navy, Air Force, CIA, KGB, NASA, all stating, and the flight instructor manuals stating that one has to consider Earth non-rotational and flat, non-rotating flat Earth. It states in these documents.
Of course, it's easy that way, Jen.
Yeah.
I mean, if this is so obvious to us, and we're pointing all these things out, why is it so difficult for anybody else to see this? With a little bit of
why?
research. Why?
You know why, Rondek? Because it's too simple. It can't be that easy. It can't be that simple. That's what they think. They've been sold that pseudoscience is science, right? And they think they're living in a world of good science, but it's pseudoscience. So when you explain something to them as simple as you see it, now it cannot be. It just cannot be.
Yeah. Well, that's what people say. That's a saying, isn't it? That saying goes, "Oh, it can't be that simple," as if like simplicity is too. No, we can't have simple things of a simple elevation angle measurement. That's too simple.
Right.
But it's not too simple because that's what we do. That's how it's measured.
Right. That's it.
Yeah. Crazy.
Hence my statement that 8-year-olds you can send you can send a group of 8-year-olds to go out and try and measure this curvature, and they'll come back and tell you it's flat. 8-year-olds can do this. It's not that difficult.
Any evidence you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container to press upon?
Yeah.
Gas pressure. I mean, the pressure is it's the force exerted on the walls of the container, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, so you will need a container for pressure to be created.
Yeah, I mean,
that's that. So no, there is no evidence. I've never seen any evidence of gas. I work with gas pressure in my job. Yeah, I work in refrigeration. I work under pressurized systems, high pressure, low pressure, vacuums, cylinders, and it's all contained, hermetically sealed systems with different pressures in different areas of the system. High pressure condensers, removing heat and condensing high pressure, high temperature gas to liquid, and then liquid being expanded into a low pressure, the heat being removed from the liquid and absorbing heat and boiling off into vapor. So all this is happening in a contained environment. I've never seen gas pressure without a container.
What are you talking about? I just went outside. I'm breathing fine. What are you guys in La La Land? Just look up. Look at the air. I'm breathing. Hello.
Well, you're breathing.
Containment.
You don't have to see it. You just have to know it must be contained because it's pressurized. That's it.
Oh, so you're talking about pressurized gas, not gas pressure. I see.
Yeah, pounds per square inch. 14 psi. Sorry, 14.7 psi to be exact. That's the pressure we're under when we're living on the flat Earth, right? And if you want to have like a gas pressure, you have to have a container for that. If you want to have water pressure, again, you've got to have it contained. Oil hydraulic pressure, again, it's a container. Water pressure, again, it's a container. Pressure in your arteries, blood pressure, it's contained. You see? There's no escape.
Everything you just said to me, I understand, and I could see that containment. So you're telling me that gas pressure needs containment, but I'm telling you I'm going outside and don't see anything like that. So what's your answer for that?
Well, you're not within the range of the container, obviously.
Are you saying a dome? Is it a dome?
Nobody's mentioned domes. Nobody's mentioned shapes. We're just dealing with gas law and gas pressure. It
Yeah.
requires if you could demonstrate gas pressure without a container, you would be able to do it.
You'd be getting a
You
Nobel.
can't. Yeah.
You'd be getting a Nobel.
So does that
And
mean
it's antecedent, isn't it?
entropy only exists within a pressurized system?
That means you can only have gas pressure if you've got something for it to press on.
But then we've only demonstrated entropy in a pressurized system.
Entropy is just a description of what occurs to gas. If it's presented with a space to fill, it'll fill it.
Yeah, so it can only fill a space. So if there wasn't any containment, it wouldn't happen, or would it?
Or we just have no pressure because there'd be nothing for it to press on.
So it only works in a pressurized system.
To be at pressure, you need the gas to be pressing.
Yeah, that's what I said.
In a contained environment, I think, is what we're saying.
You guys still haven't showed me the container. What the heck is wrong with you?
Well,
Need
listen, you're saying you can't see the container. In the heliocentric model, they'll claim that something called the force of gravity is the container, which is, I don't think gravity is a force anymore. I don't think that was ever put through the scientific method, the Newtonian gravity, but they'll say, well, it's gravity, which is the container.
With all due respect, it's at that just exact point where you have to go down the rabbit hole of arguing their case for them. As soon as you mention gravity, Neil never mentioned gravity until you did, and that then begs the question and allows him to continue arguing as if gravity is real because you made it real when you made your argument. And I think what we're trying to avoid is getting into arguments where we have to somehow argue their point because they're not even smart enough to mention gravity. Sorry, Neil. But they're not mentioning gravity and they're not defending it. You are now.
Yeah, that's fine. I wouldn't even go to gravity. I wouldn't even go past the Earth curve calculator. To get to the globe, to get to gravity, to get to this nonsense, I would stick with our Earth's measured flat in the first instance to beg the question of anything else. For that to happen, the heliocentric model requires surface level and eye level being parallel with each other. Without that, you don't have a heliocentric model. The heliocentric model was measured flat. So that's where I would end it. But obviously, we're just talking about the housekeeping questions and where these conversations usually do go with the nonsense involved with that heliocentric model. So that was the reason for that.
I was just pointing out that that's where arguments like this fail. I've got friends that I'm talking to who are having these kind of arguments with fellow Christian believers. And we're trying to address flat Earth not as a flat Earth issue, as a creation issue, as this is the way God made it. And you should believe how God made it versus believe how the Jesuits say it was made. And there's a lot of people who are making the same old dumb global arguments, and I'm trying to help people realize that when you get anyone that's coming up with the old global arguments, just use the truth. Just use the simple stuff, the laws of nature and elevation angles and basic geometry and stuff like that, and leave it there. Just leave it there, and don't go further and argue their case for them.
Yeah, just spit out the facts, as Nathan would say. But like you say, that is, again, going on to that, what we've just discussed, that is a housekeeping question as well. I think that's what they used to go through with the any scientific evidence of gravity.
Yeah, but even if they did say gravity, you could turn that into a flat Earth proof as well. Talking about down, they're never talking about bending space-time.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Well, you'd have to observe. Well, what? Let's get this straight. What do you mean by gravity?
Well, Newtonian gravity would be a vector perpendicular to a plane of reference. Einsteinian gravity would be the bent conceptual medium known as space-time.
Okay, a leaf falls off a tree and goes down. We can put that through the scientific method.
Well, so both is either or one or both of these involve a natural occurring phenomena that we can see and observe in nature.
Yeah, I just told you, a leaf is falling off a tree.
Okay, we'll put it through the scientific
Going down,
method.
buddy.
Is that because the bond between the tree and the leaf got too weak to support the weight?
No, gravity is a pull to the center of the earth. So throughout time, as it's gradually pulling, the leaves get loose and they fall to the earth, usually during the fall time. Fall. So you're getting it? The gravitational pull.
From the center of what?
Of the sphere. What do you mean? Everybody knows we live on a sphere.
We've already been through that in the first housekeeping question. That there's no evidence of this sphere. It was measured using surface level parallel to eye level, using depression angles. But there is no sphere.
There is no sphere. Nobody knows there's a sphere because, like you said, it doesn't exist. Doesn't exist, and that's why we're flat earthers. We're not able to measure it.
So explain to me how the leaves are falling.
Sorry?
Explain to me how everything is falling downward. Why are things not going sideways or up?
Gas doesn't go down. Gas goes up.
I'm not talking about gas. I'm talking about physical things that I could touch.
We're talking about mass, mate, and gas is mass, and it doesn't go down. It goes up. It's created at ground level, and it expands out in all directions. So you're talking nonsense, pal. Gas does not go down.
So you don't know. Okay.
And you can feel the gas.
I asked you why things particularly go down. Everything goes down. I drop my vape, it goes down. I drop my phone, it goes down. It don't go sideways. It don't go left. It don't go right. And it don't go up. It goes down. Everything goes down at, I think, 9.8 seconds. Something like that I heard somewhere.
9.8 meters per second. 9.8 meters per second things drop at. But why they drop, nobody knows. The explanation that's been offered up, well, I don't accept it anyway. You know, it doesn't fit the scientific method. That's the problem. Okay, when you subject the gravities, the two schools of thought to the scientific method, they fail every time. It cannot be proven. Yes, there's a downward vector, just like there's an upward vector. Okay, and hang on. We call it density and buoyancy. That's how we explain it. That's it. As to why down and why up, I can't give you that answer.
What about a boat? See, if you look at a boat on the sea and the waves are going up and down, the boat goes up and the boat goes down. Is that gravity?
Yeah, like I said, what do you think the waves are occurring? Everything's pulling to the center of the earth. You just don't understand. Gravity is so powerful. You know.
Sorry, so the boat doesn't go up as well as down?
Sure it does.
So why is that? Is that gravity or is that something else?
It's just following the ocean. It's just following the way of the ocean.
So what's the difference between the ocean and the boat?
What do you mean, what's the difference between the ocean and a boat?
So when the water goes up, why does the boat go up?
Because the water's going up and the boat's sitting on top of the water. Of course it's going to go up.
So why doesn't gravity force it down?
It does. Why do you think it goes back down?
But it doesn't.
Wait a minute. This gravity you're talking about is outdated by 112 years. So it was obviously never proven to be a fact, of like a cause and effect relationship. Otherwise, it'd still be in place. So it's never been put through the scientific method. And there's another gravity now superseded that one, Einsteinian gravity. Bending of space-time in a fourth dimension. Now, is this a natural occurring phenomenon we could put through this? Has this been put through the scientific method?
Listen, all I know is the astronauts went to the moon, they dropped a feather and a hammer, and they both fell at the same rate. Explain that, flat earther.
Yeah, according to David Percy, what they did was, regarding that silly experiment, is that they slowed the film down 50% to get that supposed 1/6 of Earth's gravity, right? And it's very well known that when you have two objects, if you shorten the distance they have to drop, they will appear to drop at the same time. So it's all relying on extending the drop height to give the heaviest object its chance to reach its maximum drop rate. Then you will see that the heavier object always lands on the ground first, whether it's in Earth's atmosphere or in a vacuum. Right, but they're not doing such sleight of hand, and they slowed down the film 50%. This is according to David Percy source, What Happened on the Moon Part 1 and What Happened on the Moon's Part 2 and 3. Thank you.
Plus, I mean, they're telling you that moon's in an area of space 10 to the minus 17 torr. Now, if that was the case, the gas that we're breathing would be filling that space. So the gas would enter that space.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Wandek. According to the experts, they say that the lunar surface area, it's 10 to the minus 11 torr. And then on the side, the far side, the dark side we can't see, it's 10 to the minus 12 torr, they said. That'd be the moon area.
So if astronauts are going to this apparent place, the gas would also be in that apparent place. The gas doesn't go there. The astronauts have not been there.
What are you talking about? I got pictures. Got newspaper articles. I got newspaper. It was all over the newspaper in 1969. What do you mean they didn't go there? Well, you flat earthers.
No, well, we've got today you can download 3 digital analysis or analyzing software. Okay, JPEG Scoop. One is called Forensically, and I thought of the name one at the moment. Yeah, these are free downloads, and they subject any image purported to have come from space can be clearly seen as copy, paste, and photoshopped. You can see it clearly. These apps are free to download.
These are talking about gas pressure that we experience here on Earth. You don't know if it's any different when you go past the stratosphere.
We're not making that claim. We're saying to you that without a container, you cannot have pressure, and you can't demonstrate that.
It's different in outer space.
Never been there, begging a question fallacy. How do you know?
Because the astronauts went there.
Another
We're planning on
fallacy.
going to Mars. What are you talking about? We're going to colonize it. We're out of here.
Yeah, well, you won't believe this one. Latest news, ladies and gentlemen. Bezos, with his new Orion, has sent a rocket to Mars today to measure the magnetic field of Mars and its pressures. Today. As you're speaking, it's on its way.
No, they haven't. You can't travel through. You can't travel through a second law of thermodynamics violating sky vacuum to put things onto a light in the sky. If you can send things out of our atmosphere, that's an oxymoron. There is no such thing as sphere-shaped air. Then so will all the gas follow whatever's travelling into that area that doesn't really exist. So to suggest that you're sending things into a sky vacuum would be to suggest that you could look back on a pressurized system without containment that you can leave to take photos or send things to other lights. So no, they definitely haven't. They're liars. There's no other way to describe it.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you. Exactly. Not possible.
Hold on a second. One of these astronauts was at my church and told the congregation that he was one of the last men to orbit the Earth or the moon. It was one of them too. And why would he lie about that? He's a Christian, for goodness sake.
That's an appeal to motivation fallacy. Who cares why they lie? If they're suggesting that they're in a second law of thermodynamics violating sky vacuum, ipso facto they are lying. It can't be in an area that doesn't exist. It's like saying, I have been to Narnia. And you saying, why would he lie about going to Narnia? Does
Did
Mike
you
sound
say
okay?
area?
Just on a different note,
You
does
said-
this mic sound okay?
Sounds great.
Yes, it does.
Did you say area? I was looking up about vacuums, and every single formula and every single description of a vacuum required something called volume, or V, in their formulas. And V is just a synonym, or volume is just a synonym for area, which is the synonym for containment. Is it not? Is that true?
Yeah, the universe is the containment. I know that. It stretches. Have you not heard about the moon?
Yeah, how would you know that? How would you know that the universe is a container? How would you know that?
It says it in the textbooks. You know, school textbooks. The moon is now in how did they word it?
In the Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah, the atmosphere stretches on and on and on. So I don't doubt containment. I'm glad you guys reminded me. The universe is the container. Like nobody knows where it ends.
But we know it's contained.
Yeah. But the containment is way far. Who knows? It goes and goes and goes and goes.
Welcome to contained Earth. What you believe about infinity is irrelevant.
You guys still haven't answered me satisfactorily, so move to the next one. I'm destroying you, flat earthers.
We started at gravity, dude. So, and you kind of got to skip by it. My question to you was, when
Issues
you
can't
said
keep
that
up.
apples fall down, do things go up?
Do you see an apple going up? I only see apples going down. Mr. Oakley, can you go to the next question, please?
Are there things that go up?
Yes.
Yes or no? Oh, okay.
Only
We're done.
gases. Find some more evidence than just gases, flat earther. All you got is gases and axioms. Pie to you guys.
Axioms are just means of showing the truth or describing the truth. Are you against things being true?
Show me something that I can physically touch going up.
Show me gravity.
The air that you breathe and gas.
I can't hold that.
How about a balloon?
Oh, yes, you
can
can.
touch a balloon. You can touch a balloon filled with helium. There.
Yeah, the gas is going. Once again, gas is going up. I understand
Not
that.
if gravity.
Yes, they're less. The air's not as heavy. That's why it's lighter, so it goes up.
That's correct. So therefore, the ball that's going down is because it's heavier than the air, as we said earlier on, density and buoyancy. It cannot be that you're in a room of gravity, a room full of gravity, and the helium balloon rises up when the apple drops to the floor. If it can pull down the apple, it must pull down that balloon.
No. You don't understand large spheres.
Oh, okay, well, you've got to demonstrate it. That's your problem. Please prove what you say. Thanks.
This is where I laugh. By the way, you're doing good. You're 9.8 meters per second squared, by the way. That's only a measurement of the speed of things, of the average of things falling in a vacuum. Can you show me where we have a vacuum of any kind in nature? Because we're talking about
right above. What are you talking about? Do you not know about the solar system? We are the third planet from the sun.
Listen,
That's
Glober.
where we are.
Excuse me, Glober. Do you believe you live on a sphere?
Yeah, of course.
Right. Tell us how it was measured.
I was looking at some photos and I noticed that certain parts of the building disappeared. So I'm giving you. You're going to rumpus me. You're going to let me talk.
No, because you're not mentioning measurements. You're talking about a picture.
I'm
How
going to
was
tell you.
Earth curve measured? I want the
As
measurements.
this- see, I thought it was a boat. I thought it was a building, but it was actually a boat. And as the boat went further out, I noticed I was seeing less and less of the decks, the parts of the deck. It was a cruiser. So, like, but it looked like a 20-story building. By the time it was almost out of my, sight because it went over the horizon, there was only
Fantastic.
2 floors showing.
Yeah, fantastic. We'll get
So
to
that's
the
the
definition
measurement
of
right there.
No, it's not a measurement, mate. That was an observation. I want to know who measured Earth curvature and what equipment was used. Please, Glover.
I know we measured the circumference of the Earth, and that was by a guy named, I don't know, his name is Alberoni. Was he Italian?
And how did he measure the circumference? What method did he use?
I think he used trigonometry.
What's that got to do with measuring curvature?
Well, he's how else is he going to measure it? Before
Well, you tell me. You tell me.
he's got to measure what's before him, and what's before him is locally level area. So that's what he measured.
Well, that's not curved, is it? Level.
Measured the
level isn't
mountain.
curved. How did he measure curvature?
I'm not too familiar with the Alberoni guy. I just heard it in passing, so I figured let me throw it out there. I want to get
you've
to the
got no
next
evidence.
housekeeping question because I'm destroying you guys.
Do, pal. Yeah, I bet you do, pal. So how did he measure Earth curvature then? You mentioned level. Measuring mountains.
Earth is so big. Earth is so big. So, I mean, it would be difficult to actually measure the curve. But we know it's curved because ships disappear over the horizon.
Well, that's just an observation, Glober. It's not a measurement. Have you saying there's a distance to the horizon?
It changes with the weather. But,
So it's not a physical location. But have you got the definition of horizon, please?
Well, there's 7 horizons. Did you know that?
How many?
Flat Earther?
4.
How many? I thought there was 8, actually. And I thought one of them was invisible. But you bring up the definition of it anyway, and we'll have a look at that. He's gone to find his dictionary, obviously.
The computer's frozen. I can't pull it up, but I know there's 7 horizons. I heard some guy named Rumpus say this one time, and he was a baller that used to come in here and destroy everybody.
I wrote about him recently. Just out of interest, how does this mic sound? Is this okay? Is this a good microphone?
Yeah,
That's a good
nice
one.
and
So that
smooth.
one
Yeah.
needed.
Jolly good.
So that one
That
needed.
sounds
By the way, there's a lot of
Sounds
hearsay
sexy.
from you, Glober.
Just
A
'cause I'm
lot of
close to
hearsay.
it, that's all.
No actual proofs. Hearsay is not what we have here.
Nathan, can you give us like a full sentence because that one really sounded good.
Nathan, if you could read out the definition of horizon for Mr. Glober here, that'd be great.
Okay. The horizon is the apparent position where the sky meets the ground. Apparent meaning not actual, as in not a physical location. The geometric horizon, Earth curve, only exists in the maths. End quote, the rumpus, as you brought him up. This is the other mic. I've got 2 of them. They're exactly the same, so this should sound the same as the other one that you just said you liked. Anyway.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I agree with that. Rumpus was right. That's only 2, though. There's 5 more horizons.
Yeah. And how do you measure to them?
I mean, what do you expect me to get? Tape measure and measure to?
How do you take the
measured-
measurement to it?
Okay, you get in a ship and you go on a ship on the water because basically that's the best place to see the horizon, right? And you take a boat ride there and it'll tell you how many miles you sailed. But it's tricky because it's always moving the horizon, the one that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Refraction has a lot to do with it too. Refraction.
well, Using your Earth curve calculator, how was the distance to the horizon measured? 1.22 squared times the observer's height in feet. How do you measure that? How is it measured?
Oh, well, we calculated, of course.
Yeah. What's the first initial measurement? Want me to tell you? It's from surface level parallel with eye level and a depression angle between the two horizontal points. Do you not know that?
No, it's measured from curval level.
This is fun. I get to test my mics and listen to you talk nonsense to each other. Wonderful fun.
Yeah, I'm destroying them.
You lost as soon as you said that some things go up, dude.
No. I never. Hold on a second. You just haven't given me anything like an apple or a vase or a penny going up, unless I'm at a David Copperfield show and he's got to do magic. When you show me one of those things going up,
He gave you a helium balloon and went up.
no. Helium balloon, that is helium. That's the gas.
Is it
Yeah, so
going
gas
up?
defies this notion then of all things going towards the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth. In a downward vector, that's a contradiction in terms. You can't have a downward vector with respect to a sphere in an imaginary sphere-shaped world where you have gravity as a Newtonian concept that is a downward vector in the mathematical description. But not all things tend towards a downward vector in a Newtonian concept that's been superseded by an Einsteinian reification of a mathematics where time bends.
Not
Gases don't do
superseded.
that.
They joined in. They joined together. We use them both, Nathan. When Newtonian don't work, we go to Einstein.
So
But you knew
basically,
that.
all you do is you decide to put G into a formula and all is copacetic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we do it. It's
And
very.
G-
I mean, see, you don't understand large spheres. There's so much that goes into it. There's so many. There's so much math involved. You know, there's a lot of things involved. You have to go to college to get it.
Pretty soon you're
Yeah,
going to be
and
telling
it
me
also-
that much smarter men than yourself have figured it all out. And obviously, none of us are as smart as those smart men.
Well, they're smart enough to leave the Earth and start colonizing other planets, because what you meatballs as humans are doing to this Earth, we have to get out of here now. Thank you very much. In about 20 years, we'll have Mars colonized, and we can all go there. And then you're going to see. And then what are you going to say? You're going to look silly.
We were supposed to have moon bases in the 70s when I was like 10.
No. We know the moon is dead. You can't do nothing on the moon. It would be too much work to get gravity there, because we are working on, getting the Earth's gravity, the same on Jupiter or Mars as it is on Earth. So we are working on things like that, And once we do that, we'll be able to go to other planets and colonize, just like you see in the movies.
This
Just
sounds great. I mean, I
imagine.
want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this. It sounds fantastic. Traveling to rocks in the sky. It's like I feel like a child again, getting excited about that imaginary world that you can travel to.
Oh, what do you mean imaginary? This is being taught in schools all over the world. What is wrong with you? They don't teach. Don't your kids learn that 2 + 2 is 4, right? Aren't they reading, on their level? So what are you talking about? This is being taught in school. We live in a solar system. We have what do you call those things when the sun blocks the eclipses? Eclipses prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Earth is spherical.
How?
Because the shadow it leaves. Half like you can see it's like spherical because of the shadow that it leaves. Oh my God. I feel like I went back in
I'm
time
pretty sure
30
I've covered
years.
this already. If the sky was a vacuum, then the gas we are breathing would fill the space.
It does. It just goes very slow when it reaches a certain point. Look, Mount Everest. You can go to Mount Everest and the air is very thin up there. So it just goes at a very slow pace. But it is filling the available volume just very, very slowly.
No. You have no volume. Volume is containment. The Earth, the globe Earth model has no volume, no containment.
I told you before,
So
the universe is the volume. The universe is the container.
You can't use the word volume when you're talking about a vacuum and when there's no volume to have. If you can just show us anywhere in nature where we observe a vacuum happening, then we can talk about it. But the only vacuums that can be created ever.
You know what a vacuum is? It's just a pressure differential. What's wrong with you?
Pressure difference, what?
It's the pressure differential. That's what a vacuum is. Difference in pressure.
What's
Why are
pressure?
you making this
so what's pressure?
Huh?
Specifically with reference to gas, what is pressure?
Well, pressure is when it's the force exerted against the walls of its containment, and my containment is the universe.
No, the universe, as you would describe it, it's not a container. A container would have walls, Neil.
Yeah, they're there somewhere. I mean, because
Somewhere.
Nathan, the vast universe, Nathan, vast.
Okay, show them.
Well, you guys say we have a dome, but I haven't seen any evidence of the dome.
Show me.
But you're telling me I got to provide evidence of a universal container?
Time for words is over. Now show.
I'm going to tell you the same thing. Show me your container.
Show us how the universe has got walls to form the gas pressure.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Show us how the walls are formed by the universe.
Well, how am I going to show you? It's way out there. Space is vast. It's infinite. Who knows how it can go on? God made it that way.
Well, then that's not a container.
I mean, somewhere it's got to end, right?
Right,
you tell me. You're the one making this claim, Neil.
Yeah. God made the universe vast. I mean, we can't even tap into his understanding. There's also other suns out there, but there's stars. Did you know that the sun is actually a star?
You're just flailing. I want to see the universe be a container by a demonstration. If you're saying, well, the universe is too big, okay, show me non-containment akin to the universe containing gas.
Surely you just go to space and take a measurement, Neil, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Space. The astronaut. Well, right now, because the way of the world, there's only a few people that can, go to these areas, but we're working on it.
To define an area, you'd have to be within containment to give it a description of being an area of volume for the containment. If you're saying it's an empty void, well, then how are you going to define it as a specific area to offer you the containment? You can't.
I didn't say an empty void. I said somewhere out there, there's, it does end because we have gas pressure right here on Earth. That's how God made it, and it slowly dissipates upwardly. That's why I told you before, Mount Everest is so, there's very little air there. So, it goes up just at a slow pace, very slow. Slow.
Okay, that's not really going to prove anything other than the gas has made its way from ground level up and would continue to vacate out of the area that we experience the gas pressure in the same way as it's made its way up to Mount Everest, according to you. It's defying the very principle of the gravitational alleged containment because it's gone up away from the surface to make its way up to Mount Everest, hasn't it, Neil?
Yeah, gases go up. I agreed with you there. Physical things can't go up, just gases.
Right, well then the gas would fill the space, if there was one.
It is, but very slowly. Next question.
I mean, just on that though, Nathan, I'm sure entropy is immediate. I mean, there's no energy transfer, is there, or something? I can't quite find the thing. It's an immediate action with no energy, or I don't know if it's temperature is the right word, but it's immediate. You know, you have the example with the guy where he's got the vacuum and the shut-off valve in the middle, and it's absolutely immediate. So if there was an area, a vacuum, the gas would fill it immediately.
He's talking about that old black and white video that he shows. Jeez.
You got to admit, Neil's a pretty good baller.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually laughing when I was I've been sat here absolutely laughing my head off.
Well, Neil's a good baller.
I'm winning.
Kudos for not going ballistic. It actually made it more fun that you were just the affable little Joe Pesci, just claiming what you can claim.
That's what ballers do. They just continue to claim they're winning. They're winning. I'm winning.
Yeah.
Get annihilated, but they're saying they're winning.
Yeah, every time Will Duffy speaks, he says, Globe wins, Globe wins. Such a child.
There's actually a term for that. There's a term. It's called wishful thinking. You ever heard that term?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So flat earthers are wishful thinkers.
Now you're flipping the burden. So when I say you suggesting that you're winning by just reaffirming that which you've had annihilated by multiple parties on multiple occasions is wishful thinking, you then project that immediately back onto me. Yeah, you're just wishful thinking that you're winning, what with an annihilation using the second law of thermodynamics and gas dispersion. No, that's not a win-lose situation. It's just a description of a law of nature that violates the thing you believe in. I mean, I don't care what the sky is. I really don't. But you believe it's an empty void that gas could fill. Baller, Neil.
Yeah. Slowly. Like I said, remember, it's very slow. The
Slowly,
process
yeah.
is
Like gas dispersion instantaneously into an availability of volume. Like explosive decompression's really slow.
Yeah, the 1950 videos, the black and white thing. Come on, we're in 2026.
Yeah, when I pop
Couple of
open them
months.
Sprite, it goes instead of.
Right, I'm going to have to round out this show and the after show because several of these mics are broken and I'm going to go and pester Craig to fix them for me. You listening, Craig? I'm going to come down in the car.
I just walked in the room to hear that, yeah.
Anything anybody wants to add before I do round out both pre and after and live show? Because I am going to.
Oh, I was just wondering about the sky. Can we, if we can't, why is the sky blue if that's not a reflection of something?
The colour it goes when you put it at a temperature of 220 degrees centigrade in an oven. Obviously, what with the Earth being a roast chicken.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about the horizon is the place where actually the sky meets the ground, isn't it?
Yeah, it meets the blue ocean and then that kind of spills into it like through osmosis.
So we can see a lot further in the sky than we can on the ground. So when we're measuring the horizon, there's going to be quite a big differential. So when we talk about the horizon, we're talking about the ground half or the sky half.
Why are we measuring the horizon again?
I don't know. It's just a question.
Join my team, Greg. Would be a good team. Would be a good
Craig.
good baller pro.
Craig.
Yeah, Craig. That's his name. Yeah.
No, it's just a thought. We're trying to measure this thing that doesn't exist. It's just a visual artifact, isn't it? Anyway, carry on. I must work.
Anybody else? Anything to add?
No, you go and get your mic. See you later, guys.
Right, with that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to mostly today's G Plus panel for making it so entertaining on today's Friday live show. Unfortunately, there won't be an after show to follow, so a massive thank you to all of you who liked, commented, shared, subscribed, joined as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member. I should really check and see if there's been any super chats. No, there has not. Oh, yeah, there has. Unitox Vemu, thank you very much indeed for the super chat. The wind changes all speeds of the falling, says Unitox Vemu. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.